Good morning, chickens. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Good morning, Lucille. Good morning, girl. Good morning, little. Are you guys getting acclimated? Oh, are you excited? Good morning. How are we doing? Did you have a good night? So this morning was Lucille's first morning here on the farm. And of course, she's been a little bit down because we separated her from, her parents yesterday. But she's much more playful today. So one of the things that we're working on is getting her acclimated. And of course, I've got one of my hens that has gotten down here from the garden area. And so I've been watching them this morning while we were eating breakfast. And she's pursuing her a little bit, so it's actually a good opportunity at a young age to start trying to correct her trying to chase a chicken. So we're going to work on that a little bit, making sure we, just steer away from undesirable habits. And then also we're going to take her for a walk and get her trained to the property lines, or at least start working on getting her trained to the property lines. And yesterday we did an initial introduction to the pigs. But I want to take and give her a little bit more time with the pigs and let her actually spend some more time acclimating to them. Right now I'm keeping her in proximity to the animals, but she's not close. And I would like to have her a little bit closer. So we're just gonna have to be a little more intentional about doing, frequent introductions and then eventually letting them spend some time together supervised. You like that? Since the weekends are when I get to spend most of my time working on projects around the property here, one of the things that I'm gonna actually go work on, or at least scope out a little bit better and maybe get started on, is a potential housing for the pigs. So I wanna set up a semi-permanent area for the pigs for two reasons. And the primary reason is for overwintering. I can't keep them in this chicken run area like I did this past winter when we first got them. They'll be too big and too destructive, and plus I need this area for the birds. And then second, I've got a potential breeding pair coming. And the more I've thought about it, the more I'm really thinking that we're gonna pull the trigger and do that. But I've gotta have an area for the pair because the female could be pregnant. And if she is pregnant, she could be due anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks from now. And I want to make sure that we've got an area for her to furrow if she does happen to be pregnant. So I don't want to bring them here before they're ready. Come on, you ready to go for a walk? Let's take you around and show you what you'll be protecting. Now, one thing we got to work on is obviously she's never been on a leash and obviously never had a collar on, so this will take some getting used to for her. So we'll take it slow. All right, we finally made it out. We're gonna do a little bit of exploring. I think she has a deal about going through gates. I think that was some of her hang up. You gonna go see the pigs? Now, one thing I really want to do is give her time to explore, work on getting out some of that energy, but also getting familiar with the different smells and sounds here. Where she was with her parents, they do raise pigs, but primarily their dogs were there with the sheep. And since we don't have any sheep, this will be a little bit different for her. Yay, pigs! What's up, my living tillers? What do you think? How are we doing, guys? How are we doing, guys? These guys should be going through castration this week, as long as the weather holds out. You guys will be changed forever. like all little ones, she just wants to play in the mud. The pigs were only in this area for a week, and they did a lot of damage here, more than I had hoped. But that's because we had a lot of rain while they were in this spot. So I have to be a little bit more intentional about smoothing this area out, but it won't be too bad. If I have to, I'll come through here and I'll back drag with the tractor just to knock down the humps. But the areas up the hill there, they smoothed out quite well. We're back on track. Now, one of the things, not specific to livestock dogs, but just in general with leash training, and something that has worked well for me with my dog, is to make sure that they know that they're not allowed to try and drag you. That if they start to pull and jerk, that we correct that quickly. But she's doing pretty good. Anytime there's tension, she tends to want to look back and see what's going on. And while she won't spend much time at all on a leash, I want to make sure that she's comfortable being on a leash, so that if we need to go to the vet or any other scenario where we might need to leave the farm here, she is comfortable being led. You're doing a good job. Now, Lucille here is Anatolian and Great Pyrenees. She is primarily Great Pyrenees. I know both parents are a little bit mixed, but they were working livestock dogs, as I mentioned earlier. All right, so about 2 weeks ago, I come back here and planted my chestnut trees. So while we're back here walking the dog, let's go see how they look. Here's one. Uh-oh, watch out. It's looking good. We've had a little bit of frost, but nothing significant. All right, got our second one. See how it looks. Oh, careful. You don't want to squish it. Yeah, it's looking all right. The leaves that were on it where it was starting to bloom, you know, they're dried out. But we're still pliable, so we're good. And they're not completely dry. Now, one of the things I intend to work on with her probably really soon is recall. You know, I don't want to speak to too much yet. That's not something that I've spent any time really working on with a livestock dog before. But like any dog, you want to make sure that they recall well, especially with a big dog like this. That way, if they're in a situation where they or somebody or something else might be in danger, such as maybe one of your chickens, that they listen to you instead of following their drive. Now, I'll admit that that's something I'm going to have to do some more research on, especially with a dog breed like this, to make sure that I'm training her the right way. Great news is our blackberry patch is starting to come in, especially this over here. This is looking really nice. Now, with regards to the pigs, I believe these extra stalls in the barn will be the best place on the property to keep them. That said, one of the things that I've been trying to follow are permaculture principles, which would state that something you need to visit frequently be closer to the house, and things you don't need to visit frequently be further. And if we're going to house a pig that may at some point have piglets, having it this far out isn't exactly following that principle. However, I already have the structure, so building additional structure or trying to put in additional stuff right now when I already have something that will work seems counterintuitive. So as far as getting an area for the pigs set up, this is what we're looking at. This area out here beside the barn as a potential like pasture area and a bit of a sacrifice area. And then of course there's a door there on the side that leads into one of those stalls, which will make a good spot for the pigs to have housing. So no additional housing need to be built. There's an indoor area to furrow, however you say it, and then this outside area. Now, I believe there used to be a fence here, as evident of the holes, so I just stuck some posts down in there for the time being. We may follow where this old fence used to be and fence in just this area, or I may extend it a little bit further out and give them more space. Either way, that's just some of today's project. You trying to lay in the dirt? Are you ready to go? All right, let's finish our walk so we can go get some water. Good girl. Good girl. This is one of my favorite views on the property. You're up high and you can kind of see everything that's going on. You can see the garden and the chickens. See where the chicken's permanent area. You see the pigs. I don't know, there's just something peaceful about this spot to me. Good girl. Isn't that just the face of a good girl? All right, you go get some water. One of the things that I continue to struggle with is keeping up with where I've put all my tools. Primarily all my yard tools and shovels and stuff for the property here. Now I'm looking for my post hole driver because I need to go put in some T-posts to work on that fence. And for the life of me, I can't find it. I'm sure it's probably in this building since I couldn't find it in the garage, but I gotta find that amongst a few other things. Just trying to collect all the tools I need to work on the fence. And then I've gotta stop by and drop off some food scraps to the pigs and we'll get going. I found it. Buried in amongst a bunch of trash. I gotta get better at this. One thing I did want to show you guys, I bought a receiver to put on the back of this so that I could actually hook up a small trailer like we talked about before. But I also remembered I had this cargo carrier that I don't frequently use with my truck, and this is a perfect use for it. Then I've got more room to carry stuff and I don't have to lift all the heavy stuff quite as much. And since the bed of that is rusting out, that's probably a little bit more stable right now anyways until I get the bed fixed. Gotta get these pigs that water. There you go, guys. Of course, you give them water and the first thing they do is try to dump it. Look who decided to get out and explore. She came down to see us. You like to run, don't you? Checking it out? What do you think? What do you think? Such a good girl. Yes, you and I are going to be pals, I can already tell. Okay, so forgive the poor lighting because there's no electricity out here, but this stall, this is the stall that we're going to try to get fixed up. Now the previous owner, I guess, put this stuff down, I don't know, maybe to keep water or something else out. I'm not quite sure. Water does back up into here in extreme rain, but I've been working on knocking down a few areas that I think are causing that. Plus, if we're going to let the pigs in here, we're going to layer this real deep with bedding anyways to help keep, there from being any moisture issues. So our goal is going to be to get this cleaned out, get this plywood, out of here, maybe add in a bit of dirt to bring this up a little bit, and then work on getting a fence area outside set up. I think I'll probably work on the fence outside first, but this will be a close second. And the good news is I found out that my dad's gonna come give me a hand, so I'll have a little bit of help. Although I got pretty good help already. Is that right? She's like, nope, I'm too tired. I already ran all the way down here. My backup has arrived. Yeah, he's full of himself. Don't let him fool you. He's
one-armed bandit.
Yeah, he's gimpy one-armed bandit today after that shoulder surgery. But the company is appreciated. Anyways, we're gonna finish getting these T-posts in. Jumping in to do a little progress report. Gimpy ain't so gimpy after all.
Oh,
She's tired out.
right.
But we got all of our fence posts up. And before putting fencing up, thought we should probably fix some of these low spots so it doesn't collect water. Let's go see if I can find me another bucket of dirt somewhere.
There's another grub.
Yeah, too bad we can't go fishing right now.
Right.
At least they're down here, not in the
Can
garden.
make a crappie happy.
Anyways, we'll do another progress report when we make a little further progress.
What'd you put in there?
Excuse me.
You happy? Watch your shit right.
Why'd you put that in there? Are you helping?
I'll get that bag open.
You getting it open for me? All right, so we've pretty much got done what we're gonna do for the day. So I'm gonna show you guys last little bit here. We're certainly not finished, but we're actually way further along than I thought we would be. All right, so we got all of the posts installed. Hello there, little distraction. I found a grounding rod that I can use off some stuff that was left. And we've got all of our insulators installed. So all we got left to do on the fencing is just to find us a charger, which out here we're going to use a solar charger since we don't have any plugs. and then of course run the wire. And the last little bit is we actually brought in quite a bit of dirt and dumped it inside here to bring this up. That way when it rains, this isn't flooding like it has been. And so we've got all of this raised up quite a bit higher. Well, I gotta say thank you. Thank you for the help.
I'm a good watcher.
Hey, well, even if you're only half as useful.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.